Good evening, everyone. This is our feature presentation. I'm so glad that you all were able to make it tonight. I really wanted to do something different this month as regards to the tribe. Milton Johnson was our featured speaker last year when we had our Money Month. And he really brought some dynamic information to us, some life-changing information. And so I thought this would be a really good time to bring him back as the holidays are coming, as we're thinking about what we want to do for the next year. I know I can't believe that it's September already,
Great.
and we're talking about holidays and next year, but it's coming. And we have to be prepared. And, he specializes in financial planning. I mean, he's your overall financial coach. So anything that you need related to finances, taxes, investing, anything, you want to talk to Milton about it. And he is your expert in this particular area. He's going to be talking about how to best prepare or for you to prepare yourself for next year moving into the holidays. So thank you
Yeah,
again, Milton, for joining us
you're
tonight
welcome.
and doing this.
Yes, it's definitely a blessing to be here, Tiffany. To be here one more time, and definitely a blessing to be with the tribe to actually talk about finances, something that's very near and dear to my heart. And hopefully, I can speak some words of wisdom into people on this evening about finances and kind of change some mindsets and get them on the right track. Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely look forward to speaking on this evening. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I definitely can't wait. I'm going to have my pen and paper here ready because I know I'm going to have some questions for you
Okay.
because I'm always looking to get better as well with my finances. So I'm just going to have you take it away.
Okay, great, great. That's it. It's just good just to be here one more time with the tribe and Miss Tiffany Newton for allowing me to be here. Definitely a blessing. But I just want to say good evening, family. If you're joining us today, either whatever time, in the morning, evening, whatever you see this, is definitely great to have you. And as we prepare to close out 2025, I just want to encourage you just to finish the year not just finish, but we want to finish strong. And that's one of the things we want to do. We could finish and may have had a rough beginning, and you may have had a rough middle, but you can finish strong. So I want to encourage you to do that. Finish strong because we want to set the tone for how we begin 2026 and how you finish this year can set you up to how you start 2026. So I'm just going to share some practical steps you can take to wrap up 2025 the right way and then try to position you for a strong financial 2026. And so one of the first things I like for people to do is just reflect on what transpired in 2025. What actually went in your finances? What went on in your life? Kind of reflect on that. What did you do well? What went right? What went wrong? What could you have done better to make 2025 even better? I know sometimes when we're going through this financial journey, sometimes we may make mistakes, but that's okay. If you learn from your mistakes, that's the thing. You don't want to keep making the same mistake over and over again. But what did you learn from your mistakes? And one of the things you can actually do, one of the first things I advise someone is definitely check your credit score. You can be able to check it at one report from each reporting agency, Experian, TransUnion. So definitely do that as well. At least you could check it at least once every 4 months to get that free report. Make sure you're doing that to know where you are, as you may want to buy, I don't know, maybe a home or a new car. So you want to know your credit score and just kind of reflect back on that. And once you get it, and if it's not where you want it to be, taking steps to actually make it better. If your debt is too high, and that's something that is bringing your credit score down. Definitely look at ways of how we can reduce debt. That's something that actually some people has gotten out of control. It's good to have some good debt, But bad debt, like a lot of credit card debt, I consider that bad debt. You don't want your credit card maxed out to the top. You want that to be down a little bit. So you want it under control. You want to control your debt. You don't want your debt to control you. So getting that credit score, trying to set a plan of how to tackle that, that's what you want to be able to do. I usually like to say write everything down. Right, I mean, create a budget. That's one of the basic of everything. The basic thing is just write. If you just have a notepad, and just write it down. Just write down what's coming in, your income, any side hustle money, any investment income. Go ahead, put that on a piece of paper, Excel spreadsheet, or if you have a budget app, no, use that. But get that down, get all of your expenses. Write all of your expenses down. And what I would suggest doing for the next at least 30 days, track your expenses every day, at least for 30 days. See what you are actually spending your money on. It's surprising what people, especially after a couple weeks or the end of the month, what they have really spent their money on. How much that Starbucks coffee, how much that really added up, or even those snacks that added up. I know I used to have people on the job. I used to be working at this other company. They would actually go get snacks just about every day, and during break time, then during lunch, they would actually go get lunch as well. I started to look at the cost of that. I said they spend about $5 during break, $5, $6, and then about $10 to $15 during lunch. So you do the math on that. And then that's the thing, if you just cut that in half, how much money you can actually save. Um, and put into a savings account and hopefully invest some of that money. Because a lot of times people say, I don't have any money to save. I can't see how I can save any money. And believe me, if there's a will, there is a way. Sometimes it's difficult. And maybe that, and sometimes you can't find it on your own. And that's when you may need some help. But if you're able to make sacrifices, if you're willing to be a good steward, I think, God put us here on earth. I know He did, to be good stewards of the resources that He has given to us. So I count that as something that He has given us a great responsibility to do. I don't take that for granted. How can I be a better steward of the resources that I've been given dominion to control? Am I doing the right thing with my stewardship? Or am I falling behind or I'm slacking a little bit? I don't want to slack. I want to be the best I can be. Everything I try to do, especially about finance, because finances is so much. If you look at statistics, especially when they're dealing with marriages, finances is at the top. Usually it's one and two, depending on what year. But one and two is one of the major causes of divorce. And I always say, if you get your finances right, that'll be one less thing that you have to worry about in your marriage. And that's one less thing you have to worry about in any relationship that you're in. And if you're single, they're going to even put you even ahead because it's you. What can I do to grow and maximize my income? What can I do to eliminate debt? What can I do to actually leave a legacy behind? I believe in leaving legacy. What can I do to do that? It may not be money, but did I leave a legacy in how to budget? Did I leave a legacy in how to be a good planner? Did I leave a legacy as being a good giver, a good steward of my resources? So what are you leaving behind? What are your children, your grandchildren going to be able to remember and talk about you? Think about that. One of the greatest people that can turn their situation around and make it better is actually the person in the mirror. It actually starts with us. We look for the government. We look for other people to bail us out. We look for other people to do things for us, the president, our governor, our mayors, our county commissioners, and they could do only so much. But the most important person that's going to be able to take care of you and lead you in the right direction is you. How you going to educate yourself? How can you get better? How can you learn from your mistakes, other people's mistakes, and not repeat that and actually get better during the process? Because You gotta actually watch how you spend your money. Be a good steward of that. I'd say every day it's an opportunity to say, am I going to spend money or can I save this? What can I do? It's a daily task. This is something we have to do. If you think about on daily, it's going to accumulate every day. So you think, so if I could save $5, if you make a decision that saves you $5 per day, just think about that. At the end of the month, 5 times 30. Now that's $150 that you could have saved, and add to your spending account. Put in a savings account, and over time grow that. And then once you get to a certain level, then you may want to invest some of that money and get with a financial advisor or a pro to actually show you how to invest, or do some research on your own or how I can make my money grow. I always say I want to see my money working for me. But I'm sleeping. I want my money making money. Whatever I'm doing, I want to see my money increasing, not decreasing. A lot of times we buy things that depreciate instead of appreciate. So I started to learn how to get more into not buying a whole lot of things that appreciate, a lot of things that depreciate, but will appreciate. And one of the best things I said is knowing your debt level. Get into the habit of truly looking at where you're at as far as debt. One of the main things I know we may have is maybe you have own a house, a mortgage. Usually, if you have a car, usually automobiles, that's something with debt. And usually a lot of people have credit cards as well, or even may have student loan debt. So look at all of your debt that you have, and then look at a way how I can tackle that. Because sometimes it's so overwhelming if we look at everything, but you got to take it piece by piece. If you have like $100,000 worth of debt, you may be like, I don't see no way out. I don't see how I can just look at this debt. It's so big. I can't imagine it. But I would like to say, my God, he's a big God. He's bigger than any debt. And if you pray for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, I believe he's going to give it to you, or he put the right person, the right resources in your way to make you achieve those goals. You had to have that mentality. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to trust and believe. I'll keep faith and finances together. I don't try to separate that. My faith is going to take me far to help me increase my finances and get it under control. So take one piece at a time and look at one debt. Just look at your smallest debt. I know sometimes it's contrary to what some other people may say about this, as far as like looking for the highest interest debt, trying to pay that off first. Technically, that will save you money over the long run. But sometimes debt, when you're trying to tackle it, sometimes more psychological. So my thing is to get those small wins. If I could pay off a small debt, say like $1,000, go ahead and get rid of that. Psychologically, that gives me a win. Oh man, I got one debt out of the way. Even though it was small, it's $1,000. Now I feel even motivated, even more motivated to just continue the journey. If you had to get, say, a high credit card debt, say that's $20,000, high interest, of course, that's paying money going to take you 6 years to pay it off. You may get discouraged along the journey, like, I never get that. So go ahead and take care of those small ones and then use the snowball effect. Okay, once I pay that off, whatever I was paying, I'm going to continue to pay that for the next bill and continue to do that for the next bill. And so you want to build momentum. And the thing is to be consistent. If you're consistent with the small things, it's going to pay off for the long run. Sometimes we just want big things and we get discouraged over the big thing because we're inconsistent because it's so big. But if you put in a way of thinking, we take it off one bit at a time, something small, but I'm consistent with it. I'm consistent with my savings. I know I have a challenge of saving $50 a month. And people's like, $50 a month, that's not anything. That's not a lot of money to save. And I was like, well, at the end of the year, I said, do you have $6 in your savings account right now? Well, stuff coming up, but it's $50 in a month. You save $50 a month for 12 months, that's $600. So if it's not that much money, and really, reality, you said it's not that much money, go ahead and do it. You just have to get in the mindset of doing it. So this is the time to actually automate our savings. I still do that. I actually have just money just coming out automatically just to save. And you don't want to think about it. You don't want to worry about it. Just have it just come out to save that money and let it grow for you. And then after time, you may want to be able to go on a vacation, enjoy something, or either invest it so it can grow even more. But whatever, just save. Try to get some type of emergency fund. At least I used to say at least $1,500, but I see some people that's small, but I say, well, get the $500 first. Okay, let's start at small chunks. Get $500. Okay, they got the 500. Okay, in the next 90 days. Okay, $500 in the first 90 days, say in 2026. But the next time, let's get another $500. So we're just pushing ourselves to actually get better and improve. So do that, automate those savings, and get it in there. I know you can do it. If it's coming out automatically and you don't worry about it, hey, that thing gonna grow like never before. $50, I'll be there. If you can do more, then do more. The thing is, I try to get clients to do is just get in the mindset of just doing it, the mindset of saving. Once you get in the mindset, this is something that is natural, and then there's no problem to actually save. It doesn't become a hindrance. It doesn't become a problem because you're building that muscle memory. I would say financial memory of I need to save. It becomes a habit. I need to save something. Whatever you get, if you get that big refund, you'll be thinking about, okay, I'm going to spend some of it, but I'm also going to save. Whenever you get like that bonus in a year bonus, okay, for the end of 20, okay, I know that it's Thanksgiving, I know Christmas is coming, so the holiday season is upon us. I could spend some, but I still want to save. You said, well, it's hard to do it. I mean, you can make it work. It depends on the effort you want to put forth in it. Can you say if you get a $1,000 bonus, can you save $100 out of that? It may not be that much, but now you save something out of that. Now you have the other $900 to actually spend. So just get the mindset of whatever I get, any bonuses, any refund, anything that's extra. I want to try to save something. Something is better than nothing. I've had people say, "Well, I don't have any money to save. The only thing I was able to save was $5." Well, you save $5. Put that in the bank. If you can only save $5 a week, put $5 a week in there and just let it multiply. If there are 52 weeks in a year, if you save $5 times 52, well, that's $260 that you save. You started small, but now you're gonna get into a habit. Okay, well, if I saw that 260, okay, I can get it $10. And then you start growing like that. So let's get in the habit of doing that for us. So just continue just to optimize the year end opportunity that you may have. Usually I try to encourage people to look at their retirements, their 401ks, their IRAs. If you have, okay, you say you want some more tax deductions, this would maybe a time to look at into an IRA as well, or either increase your 401k. I tell people if you have a job that has a 401k, especially if they match it, definitely get into that program. At least the matches. They match up to 5 to 6%. Put at least 5 to 6%. At least put that match in there. That's just free money that they are giving to you. So we look how things are going on. We don't know if Social Security is going to be there. I pray that it will be, but there's no guarantee. Even if it is there, Social Security may not be enough alone to take care of you in your retirement. I always say the best person to take care of the old me is the current me or the young me. That's going to be the best person to take care of you. Take care of the old Milton. It's the younger Milton. I need to be thinking of how can I take care of old Milton some years ago. I'm thinking about your old Milton. So, but I got to start right now trying to prepare to take care of that person, take care of myself. Nobody's not going to take care of me better than me because I want myself taken care of. So, but I need to be planning, not just waiting, just hoping things work out. We need to always be praying. I mean, you're supposed to always stay prayerful about all that you do. Have faith and trust, but you need to be planning as well. Faith without works is dead. And if we're not putting forth the plan, the effort, I mean, what we get is what we actually put into it. And we expect, well, I know something miraculously going to happen. I mean, I just know I'm just going to get this big pot of money just going to just fall, just supernaturally hit me and knock me down. And I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't know. It may happen. I don't know. But it may not happen. You need to be planning just in case it doesn't happen. I hear a lot of people talk about the supernatural. Now, I mean, some people may experience that, but I know a majority of the people I know don't experience. They have to plan. They have to be planning ahead, be diligent, and be good stewards of what God has given them, and making great and good choices, making good decisions, planning, planning, planning. I can't stop emphasizing. If you want a new house, another home, you got to plan for it. That's when looking at your credit score, knowing where it's at, keeping your debt down low, saving some money for the closing costs, saving money for the upkeep of that house, the maintenance of it. Now, if you need to make any other improvements, it takes some planning. It takes work when you own a home. I know I had several. So along this journey. So it takes some planning about that. And a lot of people, and that's what I love to emphasize home ownership, because that's usually like one of the biggest investments that we'll ever make. And if you look at the pandemic, man, the houses have increased tremendously. I sold a house in 2020. Look at that house now. I was looking at it in the market not too long ago. That same house has appreciated almost 70, $80,000 since then. But I had to be in home ownership, and I was fortunate enough when I was 24 years old, right before I was about to get married. It was a member of my church estate, had their own real estate company. She's a real estate agent. And she said, Milton, I think, you're about to get married. Have you thought about home ownership? I said, no, I was thinking about getting a good apartment, renting that out. I never thought about owning a house. I was like, that's way out of my range. So I cannot own a home. That's what I was thinking. I said, I can't afford a house. And she was like, you could, she said, really, you look into it and say your mortgage might be lower than what you're paying for rent or just about the same amount. I really couldn't believe it, but I took a chance to start looking out, and I found out she was right. My mortgage payment was actually lower than my rent that some people paying for rent. At that time, it was so low. This is to tell you how long ago. I was paying my monthly mortgage was a little under $400. I had a starter home that I had found, and I just had to put a down payment on it. I had money saved up, and I moved into a house, and the mortgage payment was not that much. And then when I was moved out, got me another house. I able to sell that house and get like a 15 to $20,000 profit off of it. But if I didn't own a home, and then let the value appreciate. If I was renting, I might get my deposit back. I don't know. You know how they pay those gains sometimes. If you get some, it may be partial, or or, I don't know. Or they may say you may not get any. But just that you own a home or own some type of property, you'll be able to sell it, then get some type of profit, or be able to look into that, use the equity that you built in the home to do other things as well. So that could be a security blanket. Some people actually did that during the pandemic when it shut down, and like, well, we're not working. I don't have nothing. I have my house. I can use some equity in there to actually carry me over. So just think about home ownership, owning some type of property. Maybe want to own some rental property, buy some land, something that's going to increase in value. So I always like to put that before people, because a lot of people like thinking less other people, only other people can do that. No, you're the other person. You can do it as well. And that's what that had to do, was change my mindset. That it was me too. Because when I was growing up, we didn't talk about home ownership or stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, bonds. that was never a conversation when I was growing up. I didn't really start hearing about that until I was like in high school. We actually had a teacher that had a stock market class. And that's when I really started hearing about stocks. So she wanted to educate her students. I was like, oh man, stocks. I never got it. If she would have never presented, I never would have been interested in it. But she presented that to us. I became interested. So I started invested. When I was able to get money, started putting money into the stock market. Started bought me some mutual funds, bought some individual stocks, things of that nature, and started to let it appreciate, and let it grow over time. And some of that was able to help me get like some of the houses that I did move into after that. Help me along the way, be able to take some vacation, be able to enjoy retirement a little bit more because I actually have like I have my 401k. I have my retirement. I actually have some other and brokerage funds as well to actually assist in that as well. So, and not just in one thing. And so you definitely want to look for ways of growing your income. That's another thing I try to emphasize. How to grow your income. If you're at a job, how can I actually get a promotion? What can you do to get that promotion? Or are you just sitting on the sideline watching other people move up and saying, why am I not moving up? Are you taking the necessary courses? Are you networking with the right people? Are you actually just doing just your job, the bare minimum, or are you exceeding? Some people most of the people I've seen, they just like, well, I just want to do enough, just I could just go home. I want to do beyond what is expected. So if you don't do beyond what's expected, sometimes you may not get that promotion. Or if you don't relay that you want to be promoted, that's one of the first things. Let them know that you want to be promoted. Because sometimes they can't read your mind, and we think like they should know I want to be promoted. Sometimes you gotta let them know. Sometimes you got to network with the right people. And a lot of times, you got to show that you have good work ethic. Are you continuously growing and learning in your field? Have you mastered your craft? Have you been there years and you're still at the low end, or over the years have you learned and been able to help develop others as well? Are you showing yourself as a leader, as a trend maker? Are you the one that speak up and bring ideas to the table, or you just sit back and just let things go by? And those some of the things you look at, especially when you go get a promotion. You need to be looking at those things. How can I do to improve myself so I can improve on the job? And believe me, if you're doing the right things, usually your managers, supervisors, they're gonna be looking at that. And if you haven't been doing it, start doing it. They definitely see that. Like, man, this person has changed. They're growing, they're developing themselves. They put forth some effort. And if you say, well, I don't want to do all of that. I just want to just do my job. Okay, well then look at some side hustles. What other things can you do to bring in income? Because some people don't want to get promoted. Some people just out doing their job. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go any higher. I don't want to deal with the headaches. I just want to stay where I'm at. But still, you want income. How can you get some side hustle, side businesses to actually bring in that extra income and still be satisfied with where you're at and continue just to grow, put money into your savings account, put monies into your, I would say, investing as well, whatever. You might want to get rental property. That's another thing you could look at. So just get, but it takes money. And that's the thing about it. People like, well, I want to do this. I'm going to write a grant. I'm going to do this. I mean, a grant is good. Some people, everybody may not get the grant. I see a lot of people say, I'm just waiting on this grant money. Well, what if you don't get the grant money? Still be prepared. Have a plan B. We just be stuck on plan A. I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna make sure, and it never happens. I've seen people still go years. Oh, I'm gonna get this money for someone else. They're gonna give me this loan. What? Start so that you can get extra sources of income. So if you do have to get a loan, they showing other monies coming in that if something happened, that you can pay this money. Now that's one thing looking at. Sometimes we just want people just to give it to us. But you got to work. This is not just giving. Some things are just earned. And you have to be able to be in the mindset, I'm going to earn what is given to me. So let's go ahead and just earn and go ahead, but you have to do the work. Go out there, do the work, get the multiple sources of resources. So income could be coming in all sorts of ways. I don't like just one way. What if I always say if I lose my job, then what? If I lose this business or part of it, then what? I just can't be dependent on one source of income. That's my mindset. I can't be dependent on just one source. Had to be multiple sources. So I still like to trade on the market. I may trade stock options. I also do investing as well. So multiple things to make sure things are coming in. Financial coach, actually, and also do taxes. So I don't want to be stuck in one thing. And then you have to have that mindset as well. Set those opportunities toward the end of this year so it could be setting you up for 2026. 'Cause I want 2026 to be a great year. Now, 2025 for me was that was a good year for me. I was reflecting back myself. I was like, man, that was a good year. I thank God for it. This has been a good year. But I'm looking for even a greater year in 2026. I can't rest on 2025. This is probably my best financial years ever. But I can't rest on that. I'm looking for more in 2026. And I want you to be the same way. Sometimes we get complacent. Oh, well, I'm just satisfied right here. No, there are bigger and better things to do. I mean, there's more people looking for you to be out there producing resources. And even the kingdom of God looking for your resources to grow so you can put more into the kingdom of God as well. You be able to help other people. I mean, if you're growing, hopefully everybody else will get the benefit as well. So I don't want to stop that. I want to increase that in 2026. So I had to be making goals, setting plans as well. No, writing it down. I know me and my wife were going over some things the other day, but we was like writing things down that we want to do, writing some stuff down. Because sometimes we forget. And if you don't see it, it's in the back burner, but write it down. Pray over it. Put it in a place that you can see on a daily basis. So get it down in your spirit. This is what I want. I need to be doing this. And then just continue to look at, focus on it. Where do you want to be in? How do you want that to look? How do you want to shape that picture? This is your opportunity to be an artist, or to be like, this is your canvas. How can I paint this picture for 2026? I want you to paint it out. It's going to be up to you to do it. How can you plan this? Okay, let's make a plan. But when I make the plan, let me just work the plan as well. I don't want to just write it. I want to work the plan that was written. I want to execute it. I want to make sure it works. And then, of course, if it's not going away, how can I tweak the plan a little bit? I still have a plan, but I want to tweak it to make it even better. Because sometimes we may have to do a reset if something not going exactly the way, or either challenges may come up. Something may come up. Emergencies do happen. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's just a matter of when. And sometimes we have a challenge. That's when we have to be ready with that emergency fund. Face that challenge, get past it, or if it's something different, I try to move on because we haven't, need to be prepared for that. So get ready to start that. Start small, start automating your success, protect and grow. This is what I'm talking about again, the right insurance, looking at your will. If you have may want to do some estate planning if needed as well, but make sure you're definitely looking at your insurance. If you have a will, that's a great thing. If not, may want to take a look at doing that as well because we don't want. I've seen this happen a lot of times. A lot of people don't have insurance, and then if they're dependent on two incomes, then that one person, you know, lifestyle is altered in a way. And so my thing is, I don't. If something happened to me, I don't want my wife was we have to sell everything. We got to move out. No, I want things to continue. So if I pass, I want the insurance to be enough. Okay, they can pay off all the bills, and still have some things still left to be able to survive. I don't want to have to just leave everything and say I got to sell everything. I want them to be able to maintain their lifestyle, and keep it going. So, but it's the insurance is one way of ensuring that happens when I pass away. So a lot of times we don't think about that. And I talk with a lot of people. I know I used to be a financial advisor I work at this brokerage firms, and we had to get our brokerage license and our insurance license. And I used to talk, especially to men. I was like, you need to get your insurance, for your family. A lot of them were like, I don't know about insurance, I think, I live my life. They just got to find a way to survive on their own. I was like, heard a few people say, like, man, that's sort of selfish right there. They said, well, I survived. I think it's be rightful for them to survive. I said, but how about you leave it a legacy so they don't have to struggle when you are gone? And I was surprised the way we think sometimes in that way. And I really was surprised. It just, I don't know, I was just disappointed with several people saying basically almost the same thing. But I just want to keep encouraged, even though if I hear people say that, hey, I still keep encouraged. Hey, keep on. Hey, look at that insurance. Even if you just have enough just to bury, get something. I always say do more, way more than that. But at least that's one less thing they have to worry about. So get at least that amount, but try to shoot for way more than that, so they could be able to sustain their lifestyle. So that's what one thing I actually definitely take serious. Make sure you're doing that. Talk with a professional if you need to talk with someone about that, and make sure you get the right policy that's going to fit for you. So protecting and growing your assets. So that's one way of doing it. On your will, I got a will. I want to make sure that what I want to go to the right people, it actually does that. My dad was instrumental in that, influencing me. He told us before he passed away due to COVID in 2020. But before that, about 3 years before that, got all this together and talked about his will, about what he wanted to do and how things need to be going and directing. So we had that conversation. He had that with all his children. So when he passed away, there was no conflict. There was no fighting. I need this. We already knew. He already told us. So that was a smooth transition. So I just want to leave this word from Proverbs 21:5. It says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. So what it's saying is that it's not about rushing, it's about being consistent, it's about being diligent and trusting with wise planning, and then just looking for the results. So let's finish this year strong. Let's walk into 2026 on the right track. Um, if one thing you want to do, I want to see everybody, if you're watching this, uh, I want you to put in the comments when you do, drop one financial goal you're going to set in 2026. Just put it in the comments. I just want to encourage you, to hold each other accountable once you do that, because really it's never too late to start fresh. You don't really have to wait till January the 1st. You can start now and step into the new year with some clarity. You want to step in there with confidence, and you want to step into it with peace. So I want to thank you for joining me on this evening. I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to stay diligent. And I want God just to bless your finances like never before. And you move into 2026 with a new mindset. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Milton. That was so good. I mean, I tell you, I couldn't write fast enough. I mean, you gave so much information to us. I'm like, I need to be more serious about my finances and maybe
Oh, yeah.
with Milton.
Thank
Just
you.
thinking about, coming up next year and everything that I need to do, and a lot of the headaches that I can save myself by doing these things now, because it's like
Right.
we think about it in a new year, but we still continue those old habits.
Right. Right.
And so if we can kind of, stop now, at least have 1 quarter where we're focusing on reducing debt, because I know you really mentioned that. I mean, you really gave us a financial roadmap to
Yes.
success. I mean,
Thank
that's
you.
really how I see it. Um, so starting out, checking our credit score. And that's
Yeah.
something that we should do every 4 months.
Right. You can do that every 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got
So
three. Right.
is that something that you suggest that we do every 4 months? Is that a necessity, or what's the four? What does that represent?
But the reason is because of, oh man, let me see. I'm trying to think of the name of them now. Now it slipped my mind. I know we got Experian,
Mm-hmm.
TransUnion,
TransUnion.
and
Yeah.
there's one more with the E. I can't think of it right now. But
Expedia? No, is that Expedia?
I said Experian. Is
Experian.
Experian right?
I can't
TransUnion.
remember.
This is another one. And what they used to do, you would get one free financial report for each one
Mhm.
of them a year. So you get a free
Okay.
copy every year from each one of them. So the one thing you could do, okay, let me get a free copy every 4 months, and they can see
Okay.
where you're at throughout the year in case something happened. You at least you're seeing something every 4 months
Okay.
for no
For each
fee.
one of those.
Yeah, from each one.
Ah, okay.
So,
Okay.
right, from TransUnion, from well, Equifax. That's
Equifax.
what,
That's
yeah,
right. That's right.
Equifax and experience. So that's why I say you have that ability to look at it at least 3 times during the year. So every 4 months, if someone get hack into your account. We see a lot of people do that and start misusing your credit without your knowledge. You don't want to wait all year, go 2 years and not know. At least you're looking throughout the year in
Yeah.
case something change or something catch you by surprise. Someone you may have had an old bill that you thought was gone, somehow it comes back up, and then they like put it on your credit report. At least you want to be aware that something like that happening.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you want to stay in front of that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good because I'd never thought about pulling one at a time. I always pull all three of them once a year, but I kind of like the idea of doing it every 4 months. So at least I'm focused on my credit all year long and not just one
Right,
time a year.
right. Exactly.
Okay. I like that. I like that. And you really were, I mean, I think majority of the time, what I got from what you were saying was how we should be really reducing our debt. Because you said that a lot. Because I felt like that was really going to impact a lot of the other things that you were telling us to do.
Right, most definitely. Right,
Yeah.
most definitely. Because whenever you look at one thing I was talking about home ownership, or if you want to get into real estate or anything of that nature, usually debt is the one thing that really having a whole lot of debt stop us from getting some things like that, like getting a mortgage. You may like, well, I want to get a house, but then your debt is so high, debt to equity is so high, you may not be able to get the house you wanted, or if it's so high, you may have to pay a higher interest rate to
Mm-hmm.
get that. So if we bring our debt down in controllable levels, sometimes you can get a better interest rate on the even with your automobiles. So if it's way out of control, it's like we can't really trust you. And so since we trust you less because you have so much debt, you're going to pay more in interest rates as a result of that. But if
Yeah.
your debt income ratio is low, they're like, oh man, you've been doing a great job. You've been a great steward along the time. So we could give you a lower interest rate because we think, you're going to pay us on time. You're going to do the right thing. And so that's to me, that's showing like they really trust you with that because you've been trustworthy in how you've been managing your resources, your money along this time, along this journey.
Yeah.
So just continue just to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I thought it was really good when because it's been a long time since I've done this when you were talking about tracking your expenses for 30 days.
Yeah.
Just to actually write it down and know exactly what you're spending every day. Because I remember back in the day, we had checkbooks. I know,
Right.
the younger
Right. Right.
generation, they don't know anything about checkbooks,
Yeah.
writing
Checkbook.
out
Right.
checks, but we literally, even when we got debit cards, or we call them ATM cards,
Right.
we had to write down on our ledger you know, everything, all the expenses, all the deposits. So it really helped to keep us on track with our budget or with our spending. But now with debit cards, you know,
You're right, right, right. Yeah,
it,
it's kind of hard to keep up. And so that's what I'm saying. Some people don't really know how they're spending. And that's one thing. It kind of discipline you because now you know exactly how it's going, where it's going.
yeah,
And sometimes you're unaware how you actually spend your money. And that's the thing about it. A lot of people really don't know. They
yeah,
really forget. And they're like, oh man, I didn't know I spent that much on snacks or going out that much. by spending that much on coffee. So it kind of gives you a sense of awareness of where things are going with your finances.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just once you do that, some people get like, "Oh man, I didn't realize that," and so it's like become an eye opener, like
Mhm.
an awakening moment for them. Once you know do that after 30 days and start looking at things and start going over, okay, let's set this budget, either controlling our spending, what things we can actually look at eliminating or either reducing along this journey.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely going to do that for 30 days because I know I haven't done that in a while. So, because you think that you're doing good, but you really
Right,
don't know until you see it.
right, right, right,
And you don't know how it's adding up.
right, right,
Yeah, so you
right.
can
That's the thing
definitely
about it.
not, and I like what you mentioned, how, people say, "Hey, I can't save," but you really don't know if you can save. You can't save unless you actually know how much you're spending.
Right, that's
Uh,
true.
So,
Yeah.
so that I know that's going to help me to be able to save more by knowing how much I'm spending. And one thing you said that I thought, I mean, I wrote down so much, but you mentioned how we should keep faith and finances together. I thought that was so good because if we're keeping the faith and the finances together, we're actually operating. We're that faith is the action
Right.
behind what it is that we're doing with our finances. So I thought that was really good. And I liked when you were talking about just starting small, because a lot of people say, "Well, I can't do this, I can't," but you have to do something.
Yeah, you gotta do something. You can do
Yeah.
something. Something
Yes.
is better than nothing. That's the
Nothing.
you
Yes.
start small. We may think it's too small, but I say sometimes we gotta take our pride out the way. And if
Hmm.
it's just on a few dollars, just start there. The thing about being consistent, just do it all the time. Automate it, get into a habit, and then watch it grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And really it's all about changing our mindset because you talked about that too and how important it is. And all of this is a mindset and is a habit change,
Right. Yeah,
especially if
because
it's not something that we're used to doing.
right. 'Cause just think of if you brought up a lot of like cultural as
Mhm.
well in your environment. If you're not, you were never brought up in a certain way, you don't really know, and you start to develop habits that are really not the best. That's because you've seen your mama do it, your grandma do it, everyone doing the same thing. So you start to do those same, imitate those bad habits as well, and then it becomes a day-to-day routine. And so you don't know how to change that. Sometimes you don't even think about it
Yeah.
unless somebody else brings it up. And so I like to, bring that to people so they can actually, okay, let me think about that. I never thought about that. I'm glad you
Yeah.
told me that. That's something I definitely can work on. That's something, I think that's doable. So that's why we have to just keep at it, changing different mindsets, continue just to educate ourselves, encourage one another to actually do the right thing. And I think that's one of the main things, getting encouraged, the right encouragement, being consistent with it,
Mhm.
and actually self-educating ourselves too. Sometimes we don't, I know a lot of people say, well, I didn't learn that in school. The schools don't teach this. I was like, yeah, that's right. I say, but you know what? The schools didn't teach, about Facebooks, Instagram, social media. Schools didn't teach us any of that, but we learned.
Right.
We want to learn.
Right.
So sometimes school can't teach everything, but sometimes it's up to us to go out there and get it and
Mhm.
self-educate ourselves. So if you're willing
Yeah.
to take the time, depending on how much you want to get it, you
Yeah.
can make it happen.
Yes.
Like I said, to tell about your dad. I mean, a lot of people can be like your dad. They go
Yeah.
ahead and educate themselves, learn themselves, and grow
Yes.
and develop. And then if you need some help, that's why you got professionals out here that you can go, seek advice from. And then not only seek the advice, don't act on that advice.
Mhm.
And then grow from them and learn from them as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I loved when you were talking about the legacy that you leave for your kids and that it doesn't just have to be money. You encouraged us to get the insurance policy to make sure that things are exactly where it needs to be, as far as the expenses that are left. when our loved one goes away, but you talked about just the knowledge,
Right,
of finances that we
right, right.
leaved, as a legacy. So I thought that was really, really good. How you shared about your dad, that was a legacy that he left. Having that
Yes,
will, he did his estate planning and he gave it to you all ahead of time so everybody would know. And so he was able to have a peaceful transition. And you
yeah,
all were able to have, even though I'm sure you all mourned him, but that was something less you had to be concerned with
right,
because he had already taken care of that. So I thought that was really good. I thought that was really good. It was, I mean, it was just so much. I mean, I can go on and on and on because I have so many notes.
right.
But I want to definitely reiterate the action item that you gave. Make sure everybody put this in the comments, one financial goal that they have for 2026. I'm going to definitely do that as well.
Okay.
Actually, I think I already mentioned I'm going to do the 30, my expenses for 30 days.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do that before next
Okay.
year.
Okay, right. Right. Go ahead and get on out the way.
Actually, you know
Right.
what? I'm going to give an action item too. So
Okay.
everybody, how about you track your expenses for 30 days before the end of this year?
Okay.
And then also, we're also gonna give our financial goal for 2026. So that's two actions for us to do.
Okay.
That's gonna set us up well for next year. And I just really appreciate you for doing this. This was so good. So tell
Thank you.
everybody how they can reach out to you because of course tax season is coming up and really just anything related to finance you can talk to me about. This is now's the time to talk to you.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, you can visit me on my website. It's solutions with the S2finances.com. So that's solutions2finances.com. Or you can give me a call at 833-346-2829. You could call or text me either way. And I said, I'm on Facebook as well. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So either way, you can just reach out to me. Like I said, they're listening to this. Hey, they can reach out to you as well if they want to reach out to me. But Facebook, other ways, and we'd be good to go.
Awesome, awesome. And I'll also put this information in the description too for this video. So you all will have Milton's contact information. And please follow him on Facebook too, because he is on Facebook and you said TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
Make sure y'all go and follow him too, because he's always giving some nuggets on finances. Are you still on your, because I know at one point in time you were on your 30-day challenge. Are you still doing your 30 days?
No, we're talking about on the
When
YouTube.
when you were posting on Facebook different days with different financial
Oh,
nuggets?
yeah, yeah, right, right. Yeah, I'm still gonna post. I need to update it, but I'm still posting those as well.
Okay,
And I'm glad you mind. I need to do an update as well.
okay,
Keep it going. Right, yeah. So I got that still going. The $50 a month challenge.
okay.
So trying to keep people doing that. And they're getting a financial roadmap. So everything financial that can help you get better, and encourage you to get better, and then you help someone else get better. That's what it's all about, reaching one person at a time, and changing lives, changing mindsets, and it's helping them, to live a better life in this
Yeah.
world that we're here. Yeah, so if you can just go on that and you have any question, or you can also always DM me as well. That's another option.
Thank you so much, Milton. This has been so good tonight. I mean, it just to be able to stop and think about our finances and to
Mm,
make those adjustments is so needed. And so I just thank you again. I can't thank you enough
I
for
appreciate it.
tonight. I guess until then, until next time, everyone, this will end our sessions, or I should say our events for the month. But definitely join us next month for other upcoming events. So until then, we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.